Into another episode of Preacher in the Hat. My name is Derek. Across from me is my brother Eric. To my left is my father Steven. Behind the cameras and on hot mic is the one and only Chris Sumter. We've spent the last 15 solid minutes or so kind of griping about some different stuff. So anything you want to put on record here? Anything you want to put?
Nothing that I said in the last 15 minutes, I don't think.
Yeah.
That I want to put on record.
Chris, now or never, big dog. Well, not never, but now's the chance.
I'm good for now.
All right, that's fine. Dad, you got anything?
I think I'm good.
You guys you didn't want to do a what grinds my gears segment, right?
I just heard that.
Will we ever get out of that segment?
No, that's the problem. It'd be the whole episode, and we could carry that on for a series, I think. But it wouldn't do anybody any good other than maybe us feeling a little bit better about the things we're complaining about. I don't know. Maybe if you complain about the right stuff.
That's right.
Make some real catchy reels and
That's right. There you go.
TikToks. We're not on TikTok, are we?
No.
No, we are not on TikTok.
I think we have an account.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah?
But I think
All
that's
right.
it.
If you're out there on TikTok, go follow us
For no reason.
For no reason.
To see nothing.
There won't be content. We probably just reserve the username or something.
There might be an old reel up there. So what do they call them on? I'm sorry. What do they call them on TikToks? On TikTok, I don't know. There might be one up there that I just kind of tested out. I'm not sure actually.
Okay. Couldn't even tell you our handle.
Gotta be at Preacher,
Preacher
just
in the Hat.
at Preacher in the Hat, I would think.
Well,
so if you want to follow, it's going to give you nothing.
yeah, TikTok was one of those that I don't know what to do with. Never even downloaded it. Didn't even try.
Yeah, it
very
was impossible. I refused to download the app just for personal reasons, because
It's a time suck.
it's a time suck, and I choose to believe all the conspiracy theories about how much data they collect.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I choose to believe that.
You guys both said that word like it was a word. I've never heard that before.
What?
Time suck. I mean, and you guys both almost said it in stereo. Is that a word?
It's
Yeah.
kind of.
I think it sounds new to me, too.
No, I
Chris.
didn't. I never heard
But,
it.
but context, right?
I understand it. I just
No, I understood it
don't
when he
think I've
said
ever
it, but
heard
I felt left out.
Oh, okay.
No.
thank you.
And
but
so I tried
I'm with
to
you.
when I created it, the account I created it like on a desktop.
It was not made for desktop.
No, it's terrible. I don't know if you've ever tried to do it. It's kind of the same thing if you ever tried to operate Instagram on a desktop.
Yeah.
So like some of the things that I've done for us for the podcast on Instagram, I pulled up the browser 1 or 2 times for it, and it's just it's terrible. It's not meant for that. If you're going to do something on Instagram, you got to use Meta's business suite so that you don't have to deal with all that. If you're going to do it on desktop, but TikTok was the same thing. I was like, it's not meant to be accessed in a browser. I don't know. Stuff fails. I remember trying to upload some stuff. It's just wild. I felt
Can we
like
talk
I
about
was,
something that me and Steve know
I
something
felt
about?
like I was 80 years old when I was trying to operate that.
Oh man. Well, tonight
What did you say? The Meta Power Suite? What the heck was that?
Meta's business
back there
suite.
furiously taking notes
Meta
so he can
Power Suite.
recall all of the keywords or the buzzwords he's missing out on. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about what to do when you don't know what to do. And I think a lot of time you kind of see, I know I experienced this for myself, so I guess I'm broadly casting this out to all of society as some generalization, which I'm not trying to do, but I firmly believe that a lot of folks struggle with this sort of thing where you can overanalyze stuff or really just sit, and it's easier to do nothing than like go for, like make a decision or something like that. But I've found that like in my life, in like procrastination is at its highest when I feel like I don't really know what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you ever like remember being in school and the thing that you procrastinated at school was something you weren't really sure, like the project, you didn't really know what you were going to do. So you procrastinated it, right? If you had a great idea, would you really like or something you were interested in doing, would you procrastinate on that? No. So like it kind of drives that. All right. So I think our obvious answer and the Sunday school answer here is particularly like at spiritually or whatever. Let's say the Sunday school answer would be like, well, you got to be in prayer first. Like, okay, so let's assume that we all have the prayer life, you know, and we're in prayer and we're doing all that. Okay. So now you're in another step now where you're at a crossroads. It doesn't have to be spiritually. It could be in life. It could be about a job or a family decision or something like that. And you don't know what to do. What are you doing next?
I don't know if I've ever consciously thought about this question. So thank you.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
And I did it more as like a little bit of surprise. I didn't want anybody to necessarily prep what your answer would be because, you know, number one, we kind of lean into what do you do if you don't know, when you don't know what to do.
All right. So here's an example in one context. I'm a dad of 3 young kids, 2 of them old enough to walk around and run around. And with that being a fact, I have seen lots and lots of my kids getting injured. Thankfully, almost every single one to this point has been very minor. However, when the injury is maybe slightly a tick up from minor, usually my initial instinct response is to freeze. So like if I see my kid like fall off a chair, I'm like, you know, my wife is going 90 miles an hour running to them, you know, to go pick them up. And like my instinct is freeze. And I don't know what I'm processing. So like in that scenario, what I'm doing when I don't know what to do is nothing.
Yeah. All right. So no, that's a good answer. We'll keep, Dad, for you,
now I will say that moment of nothing is short.
Yeah.
But it feels long in my head where I'm like frozen. It's like frozen in that moment. It's a split second thing, but yeah.
So we'll get to the part after the nothing, right? But we'll kind of leave that there. You've talked about this story on the podcast before, but let's harken back, if you will. Write another
Harken.
I write that one down, Chris.
Harken?
I like it. Go ahead.
Before Eric and I were born, and then it's in the 1980s, and a church that you were leading, you were in a city where you were in Tuscaloosa, where you didn't have, you know, extended family or anybody out there around there, and the church that you were leading just closed, and I would bet a mortgage payment more than that. I'd bet the entire mortgage that you had a couple moments of not knowing what to do next.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what was it like? So even where Eric kind of left it, where he's like, he didn't do anything, those immediate moments there, what was like immediately happening in those, like the moments following that?
It's kind of interesting that the word that came to my mind when you said it was explore. And so now I'm going to think about what did that mean in that situation? First of all, I had to fend off everybody else's advice.
Yeah.
You know, oh, you need to do this.
Who
you
knew
need to
exactly
do that.
what you needed
You need
to
to do this. Yeah, a lot of people knew. So I think for me, a lot of times when I don't know what to do, and if I express it, one of the first responses around people are uncomfortable with you not knowing, you being me in this case, with me not knowing what I'm going to do next. You know what I'm saying? And so the first thing is just kind of how to process all of the opinions that other people might have about what I should do next. And I don't remember a lot of that. I don't remember it being that big a deal, but I do remember clearly, even now we're sitting here, you know, well, why don't you just stay around and try again? You know what I'm saying? Don't quit now. That was one thing that a lot of people say. And so I had to process, am I quitting? did I quit?
Yeah.
Because I made a decision to close the church. I did do that, but I made the decision to do it, but I didn't know what else was going to happen next.
Yeah.
So I've tried through the years. Now it's coming to me. I've tried through the years to tell in my conversations with God to tell him, okay, I'll quit this and I'll stop doing this if you will let me know what I'm going to do next. And I remember.
So is he saying that his answer is bargain?
I was just about to say. I was like, sorry, so
right, it's bargain.
we've got
Yeah,
a
it's
couple
good.
answers
That's
here.
good.
We've got nothing. We've got bargaining.
Yes, sir.
I will say, like, I am very comfortable in my life not having a plan. I'm more than okay not, and that's just like in general things.
think maybe I am too.
My wife is very much a planner, and I fail her daily in helping to like plan things out. Particularly, she's so good at making you thinking about who's gonna watch the kids because you've got that and I've got that, and I'm very much like I was just gonna figure it out. You know, they're like, what does figure it out mean? Like, I don't know. Like I really just didn't have a plan.
Right.
So yeah, doing nothing, bargaining, all that. For me, winging it. That's another one where you're just kind of like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, you know, winging it.
Winging.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know bargaining? Do you know bargaining? Like he's describing it as bargaining.
That's not another big word for you, is it?
What does it start with? I know bargaining. Come on.
Yeah. But so who did you hear me bargaining with? Just because the term came up as I was talking.
It sounded
bargaining
like
with
what
other
Eric said. It sounded
people.
like you were bargaining with God.
Yeah,
Basically
that's
saying
true,
like,
yeah.
hey, but
That's true.
I'll
got it.
take this
That's true.
step, but I'm gonna need you to identify what I'm supposed to do after, because
Remind
I'm not
me-
just gonna sit here and nothing.
Remind me later on when we're going further to tell you what was the end result of that.
So
But anyhow.
what's for winging it? What's the biggest thing you've won?
Wall. Past tense.
We lost Chris on that.
Wing Wang Wong. Chris.
There's an English teacher somewhere.
Yeah, who just
out.
clicked it off. Was like, I'm out. I can't with these guys. What is the biggest thing that it's like small stuff. I'm not talking about.
You know what
winging
I feel
giant
like ours is, like mine and Michaela's is like, because she's a planner too, but then like house stuff, like big deal things like in our house. It's like we needed new windows and we had some guy give us a quote, and it's like, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, it's like, should we get another quote? I don't know. Seems like a pretty good deal. Just do it. So we got a brand new kitchen.
Yeah.
One quote. And we felt good. No. I'm sorry. We got multiple quotes. I wouldn't call them quotes. But we got
Multiple ideas about what it would cost.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we got some ballparks from a couple. I guess there were quotes. But anyways, then we had this one guy come in, and we're like, I don't know. I mean, should we think about it? It's like, nah, that's our guy.
I like that guy. I like that guy. Yeah, I don't know if I've
and we
quite to that scale.
we recently, I was like, you know what? We really need to get these pine trees down. Like, got a flyer in the mail. I was like, save that back. I don't know what to call that guy. I want to start getting a couple quotes, is what I told Michaela. I want to start getting a couple quotes. So I called this first guy out that came out, that had the flyer in the mail. He comes out, gives me a quote, and he was like, I'll do it for tomorrow for this price, whatever. I was like, okay, wow. I was like, hang on. I was kind of planning on getting some more quotes. Let me go mention it to my wife. Went inside. And
Or he had already fired up the chainsaw.
yeah, right, ringing. Not quite, but I went inside and talked to Michaela, and I was like, I think I'm just going to tell the guy to do it.
I like this guy.
I like this guy. Well, okay,
And the price
first of all,
was also
I was gonna say,
insane. I was
gonna say you knew
Yeah.
going in because you told me what it was, like
Yeah.
what that guy said, and whenever you have somebody come out and do work like that, timeline wise, when they tell you they can start tomorrow, that is also an added benefit.
Yes, it
really is.
That is 100%.
You know it's a great price when you have no experience in an arena and you're like, dang, that's good price.
That's true.
Like I'm a fool right now, and that's a great price.
That's right.
That's the amount of money I wanted to spend. I don't know, is it a lot? I don't know. But really, it was a great prize. Anyways, it's just like right then, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna get multiple quotes. I'm going with this guy. That seems to be the kind of stuff that I always.
Well, now, is that winging it, or is that just like why?
It's a little bit of winging
Some of
it.
that's
Is it?
winging it.
A little bit.
I guess for a planner, it's winging it.
Maybe so.
Did you guys
Yeah,
ever,
because I went from like 2 days before, we weren't even having discussions
Oh, I
about
see.
taking
Okay.
trees down to like 3 days later, 3 or 4 days
There's a guy
later,
out there with
they're
a
all
chainsaw,
gone.
yeah.
They're all off our property. Yeah.
you guys are young, but Steve, you know this, when people would come around door to door to sell stuff.
Yeah, right.
That was always an exciting time for me. I don't know why. I love the spiel. I just do.
Yeah,
I always
really? Is
have.
that
I mean,
right?
yeah. I was never going to buy anything, but man, I just love the passion and the way they just really get those things together. And
Yeah.
it used to be encyclopedias.
Encyclopedias.
And you remember the steaks? They would come around like they'd
Oh, I
carry
don't
around these
remember
frozen
much about
steaks.
that. Tough
Oh my
Chris, you never bit the bullet on that.
Oh my! I didn't say that.
Okay, you said you did. You said you were never going to buy anything.
Yeah, I know,
but,
but
you
that-
did.
that
You did
changed-
buy the
that
steaks.
changed my
That
life.
changed
Exception.
you.
Yeah.
food exceptions.
Yeah, because I'd never seen it. It was like when I was really young. It was
It's meat.
it was
at my front
It was
door.
were they vacuum cleaners? You didn't
Oh,
remember
yeah, I
the whole
remember that.
rainbow?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh,
they
yeah.
cost like the amount of a car. You know what I mean? It's like $4,700 for a vacuum cleaner, but it could like turn into like all kind of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's fun.
For selling steaks at your door is one of those things you're like, it almost doesn't even really matter that much how it costs because I have to know. Like, I have to know what this is like.
Especially those guys that are got the great personalities and they're just really good salesmen. It's
Yeah.
just like, I know people don't like salesmen. I like them, especially if they've got a good line and they're really good at it and they've rehearsed and it's like part of their DNA. And it's
You appreciate that sort of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, and especially like, you know, the guy you said, the ones that'll come around with the chainsaw in their hand already.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, cut it down. Cut it down.
Yeah, I basically said, yeah, let's do it. And he was like spray painting it on my trees like, right then.
That's pretty good. I like that.
That's awesome.
Now, see, I would like that kind of action. I probably would. But it wouldn't be true that while you may not have planned it specifically for that day, that you already had in your mind that was a good price. So you checked out things before? I mean,
No, I don't.
I mean, I'd had a few trees taken down
Me too.
years back, and I told him, and I was like, man, I don't think, given how everything has been, like inflation has been insane everywhere else.
right.
I
think
like,
I got a
it wasn't
similar-
that bad. I was like, that's not even that much more than I paid like 8 years ago. I was like, I really think you should jump on that.
Yeah,
you know, that
right.
kind of thing. That kind of thing.
And then he came down
wow.
without. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he wanted it, and I was like, make sure this is a
Brother has
scam.
rent.
This-
Yeah.
like he's insured, right? Yeah.
Right.
But they're kind of new to the area. They were founded in Atlanta, and this is a guy that like took
Franchised it,
Yeah,
maybe?
well, it's his brother.
Oh,
owns in
okay.
Atlanta, so he launched it here, and they're trying to get their foot in the door, and it worked out great for them because they did our yard, and then in the afternoon they were like 3 houses up at that house
they
on the
do it,
corner
man.
that has like 500 pine trees.
Yeah, and they know where you live. There's trees everywhere, so if they can just get their trucks out there,
yeah,
that's what
they were cutting down.
you were the inroad. To,
Yeah, they cut down I don't know how many in her yard.
yeah, that's awesome.
So let me go back to
We
I like
sidetracked there.
So how would my like of adventure fit into this scenario? Like for me, if I don't know what to do, sometimes it feels like it'd be an adventure, and so I'm not turned off by that. I actually think going on an adventure, and I used the word exploring a while ago. So for me, sometimes if I don't know what to do, I'm like, well, this will be an adventure, and I'm cool with just. Y'all calling it winging it, but see, I don't even see it like that. I just kind of see it like, well, let's just go ahead and see what happens.
Yeah.
Do stuff and see what happens. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
no, I
know.
totally
I'm
get. I
that's
totally
how
get
feel
that. I
like
think what I was looking at it from spending large sums of money
Oh, okay,
at one time, and
Okay,
so
I
like
got
to
you.
me that's winging it, not
Okay,
just
yeah, I
an
hear you. I
adventure.
hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
But I totally get what you're saying, and I agree.
Well, now y'all know that more than once in our life that your mother and I have bought a house. Guess what we would do ahead of time? We didn't know where we wanted to buy a house. We didn't know that. So guess what we do? We used to drive around neighborhoods.
I remember.
Sometimes for a year ahead of making the decision. So when the time came to do it, we knew what a deal was. We had looked and looked and looked, and we were not looking for because we got to move today or tomorrow or the next day. We just like, let's just do it. In fact, you may think that that's me that like doing that. Your mother liked doing that.
I can see
and
that.
She, in fact, when we sometimes recently we settled in, we were like, we used to drive around a lot and just look at houses and all that kind of stuff, look at neighborhoods. And since we're settled here now, bummer, we don't get to do that. So your Uncle Daryl, some years ago after your Aunt Janet passed away, he was talking about moving. Guess what we did? We ended up on a Saturday afternoon. We're driving around neighborhoods looking for him a house, you know.
Trying to
And we
move other
called him, and he's like,
They just couldn't move enough. They had to.
They had to
help
move
other-
somebody else.
I know. Isn't that crazy? But that's crazy. So that's what I mean. It was an adventure for us, and so we didn't know what we were going to do. So we just kind of explored and had an adventure.
So let's go back to the examples y'all gave here. Eric, you stopped in the middle where you're talking about. You did, your kid falls out of the chair and you do nothing. What's the next step? Let's move on to the next step after that, because we sit in that little like moment of paralysis there, or we're processing something. What's the next step?
Well, I think after that, it's actually react.
Okay.
And usually in that particular situation, it's mostly comforting a child. So it becomes instinctual, but it's almost like but as those instincts are kicking in, that's where that freeze is. But then after that, it's go.
Yeah. So you've almost like took a couple seconds to kind of like not necessarily
Evaluate.
make a plan, but and the
How bad is this?
yeah,
Well,
and the plan goes into whatever. One of you is with the other kids and the other, but some sort of plan is getting executed
Yes.
for comfort. All right. In your example, you talked about having a little bit of a feeling of exploration or whatever, but you also mentioned what we labeled after bargaining, where you were comfortable making the decision as long as you had an agreement with God that He was gonna show you what came next.
And the answer was, that's not how I deal with you. And it's absolutely true. I have very seldom ever left a job with another job completely and totally in place. The phrase that came to my mind is, then I would begin to trust my instincts. When I don't know what to do, I sometimes was comfortable just trusting my instincts that you used the word reactive, that I'll react and my reaction will be okay. And I really do think I trust my instincts for the most part about that. Now, because I never remember in being in a scenario you're talking about where I was really felt pulled around, and it didn't really feel bad, negative to me. I don't mean there weren't negative aspects of it. I mean, one time I got fired from a job. I didn't know what was coming next, and had two small children in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. This was before we closed the church, right after we got there. I remember walking and going like, what in the world is going to happen next? So because I didn't know what to do, I was in a town by myself, had a family of 4, and I had a part-time job, ministry, but I needed more money. I knew I was going to, and I mean, I got fired on the spot like that. And so I was like, ooh, what do I do now? So I remember a night, maybe several days where I felt like, what do I do now? And it was negative for me, but eventually it became an adventure again for me.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
I think what's the important takeaway there, and this will kind of probably a change in job is a good example to kind of to dig in a little bit here before we wrap it up. But I was furloughed during the pandemic when, a whole bunch of people lost their jobs, and you do have, like, I will say, you have the moment of doing nothing, and maybe, a little bit of anger and all that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But one of the things I feel like that this applies, I mean, not just logically and not just, but I think it applies spiritually as well too. I'm kind of made I didn't know what I was going to do, right? What are you going to do? You don't have a job. I don't know. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what the next job is going to be. But I'm going to check in with my network every day. So like I had people who'd reached out to me months before about a job and so you make a list, a mental list or whatever. And I made a list of those people and reached back out to them. And then dedicating time every day, not the whole day, whatever, of looking through, okay, what's out there? Can I apply to that? Do I know the person who posted that job? Or, do I have a connection with the person who posted that job? We can have those things where we say, like, I know God's going to take care of me and get me what I need to do. It's infinitely harder for that to happen, though, if we just sit on the couch and wallow in, in self-pity or something like that.
That's right. No,
so making a plan of just getting out there and doing something. This goes far beyond a job search.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times where we can sit here and be like, I really have no idea what to do next. But there's things that we can enact in our lives to get at, to like, just, I don't know, resist the urge to withdraw and just, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of, maybe another example outside of just job searching. But it could be for just being proactive in life in general will get you over, will number one, it's going to help you mentally feel like you have purpose and you're doing things with your day. Instead of just being like, well, I don't really know what to do, so I'm just going to sit here and let God figure it out.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I love that one.
Yeah.
We're just gonna wait until he sends something. It's like, yeah, like I totally get where that comes from, and sometimes like you do have to wait, on God and for a lot of things. But
they're not mutually exclusive.
Yes,
No, you can move while you're
That's
waiting.
what I mean.
You can move while you're waiting.
Yeah.
You
But,
can.
and so I don't mean to judge waiting on God, because obviously we have to do that. But it's like, I think we use that saying like as an excuse to exclusively, like to only wait. And like you said, not move.
Can we use it like this? When you don't know what to do, go with what you do know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go with what you do know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I think maybe that if I was going to put into words how I've done, I think that was true.
Yeah.
I when I didn't know what to do, I would do with what I didn't know to do.
And I think the way that it framed in my mind is we use the word that not mutually exclusive. The faith and action aren't mutually exclusive, right?
correct.
Just because we have faith that God's going to do something in our lives, we have faith that He's going to do it. But we can also
Stay active.
Yeah,
That's right.
stay
I agree.
active within it. So faith and action are not mutually exclusive.
That's correct.
Is that a fair way? I mean, I feel like it's a fair way
100%.
to wrap that.
If you pray for rain, you better bring an umbrella.
That's right. That's right. But you can't make it rain though, Chris.
But you can bring an umbrella.
You can bring.
That's right. That's deep.
There's
That's
like
deep.
it sort of applies, and that's good enough for Preacher in the Hat. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. For Eric and Steve, Chris behind the camera, I'm Derek. We'll see y'all next time.